Hello, everybody, and welcome to 5-Minute Crypto Beyond the Dip. In this episode, we're going to be talking to Steve, the Sussex trader. But a quick reminder, this is brought to you by Bitget, where you can hear from founders, builders, investors, and of course, traders, as we discuss all things crypto in 5 minutes. An introduction to Steve. Steve, the Sussex trader, recently joined the Cheeky Crypto group last month, and he's been brought on to help content creators and their TikTok channels. A warm welcome to you, Steve.
Hi, morning, mate. Thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you on. We've been friends for a long time, but let's get straight into today's question. So how does the news, both globally and industry-specific, influence the bottoms of cryptocurrency markets?
With crypto, it's the same as TradeFi news. If you get positive news, market goes up, and if you get negative news, the market goes down. We saw only this week a tweet that came out, but the news ended up being false, and Bitcoin made a 7% gain within a matter of minutes. So although technical analysis does come into it and general economic factors, news does play a really big part in making the markets move in certain directions.
I mean, let's talk about those dips. How do you differentiate between a temporary dip and a potential more prolonged bottom within the market?
I think the way I trade is pretty irrelevant to me because I'm a big advocate for just dollar cost averaging. I don't trade daily. I invest on a monthly basis every month, and I've got my targets and my buy zones for all the projects that I'm in. So I would say that that's not something I really look at trying to time. You'll never time the bottom. These people sitting there waiting for 10K, 12K Bitcoin may never get it, and their money's just going to be sat on the side and then end up FOMOing in.
So can you maybe provide an example from in the past where signs kind of pointed towards a bottom and then how the situation then played out?
I think you've only got to look at the two previous bear markets. I mean, the last bull run was my first one, so I wasn't really involved in the last bear market, but Google searches dropped off, content dropped off, and general interest in crypto dropped off. And we're seeing that again now. Google searches for crypto are down. YouTubers are getting less and less views. Probably from an exchange point of view, the sign-ups are still okay, but they're probably not where they were during the bull market when everyone was talking about crypto.
I mean, you're talking about everything being down, the markets being down. So obviously this is quite a negative thing and what we're talking about. How can I best, or how can people that may be listening to this podcast best protect their assets when they're a bit unsure whether the bottom's in or not?
Dollar cost average, stress-free, do it every month, and you're not trying to time any bottoms and putting all of your capital in one go. You should never lump everything in one go. Keep some money on the side because you never know if it's going to go down more, and you can bring your average buy price down. And keep up to date with the news and goings on. And also, don't keep everything on an exchange. That's the best way of safeguarding your assets.
I mean, that's some really important information for people. Please go and check out what Steve is saying. The final question for you today, Steve, are there any tools or resources that you would recommend for those looking to improve their skills within crypto trading analysis and potentially, if they're very lucky, predicting the market bottom?
I would say make sure you get a good news app. I personally use Crypto Panic, which is an aggregator. It pulls all the news from across the market into one place. Use things like DeFi Llama. You can keep up to date with volume on chain, on exchange inflows, outflows, total value locked. And yeah, just spend an hour or half an hour every day just keeping up to date with the news and what's going on in the world around you. You don't need to sit staring at charts 24/7. Go outside and touch some grass. And I'm very much advocate for a hands-off investing, so to speak, unless you want to day trade.
I love that as a way to end today's podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today on this 5-Minute Crypto podcast. Thank you so much for listening as well to people in the audience. Just a reminder, this is your Bitget 5-Minute podcast brought to you, and we are going to give you the very best founders, builders, investors, and traders as we discuss all things crypto in just 5 minutes. Thank you.